Welcome to Disconnecting from the Matrix, where the release is from within. I'm your host, Alice Kim, and in this episode, I will be discussing the core theme of this show, and that's freedom. When and how is freedom experienced? What does it take to get free? And is there a price to choosing freedom? Coming up. As within, so without. Your consciousness creates your reality. And because your reality is a projection or outpicturing of the images in your consciousness, you can say that your world that appears so real and seems to affect your very existence is nothing but your imagination. Now, this isn't to say that form doesn't exist, or at least appears to exist. But the point is that this outside world or objective reality, even if there were such a thing, it can't be truly experienced as it is because what we actually end up experiencing is merely a perception or a version of what could be out there. And even if there is an actual world out there, it really doesn't matter, does it? Because we'll never see it and know it for what it is. The only world that we'll ever see is the subjective world, the world that we perceive through our minds. And that's exactly what the Matrix is. It's not some grand conspiracy out there that's keeping you from knowing reality or from knowing yourself, your truth, your freedom. There's no one out there who's trying to keep you down and lost and confused. The Matrix isn't being forced on you. And that's also the reason why I don't indulge in conspiracy theories or the intrigue of the cabal or the Illuminati or the alien agenda or chemtrails or whatever it may be that people believe in some illicit power or scheme that's out there to control and feed on us for their gain at our expense. Maybe they're true. I can't really say. But at the same time, I really don't care either. I'm just gonna let those who want to stay lost in the Matrix to feed on these conspiracy theories, these stories. It's like sugar or crack for the mind. You get hooked, it gets you high off all the drama, and it starts to poison your mind. To me, it's just another distraction to keep yourself from using the focus instead to be free. All this is, the way I see it, is just procrastination on your own liberation. I suppose it would be easy to assume that a show with the title Disconnecting from the Matrix would talk about these things about conspiracies and outside forces trying to keep you imprisoned and under control. But I'll make it clear now that it is nothing of that sort. Because if these stories were true, there would be no way to release from the Matrix. Because this means that there are others who hold the power and the key to your freedom. And to choose from this position is to relinquish your mastery. The Matrix is all your own creation, influenced by outside suggestions, I guess you can say, but your creation nonetheless. Because at some point in your life, you have accepted and downloaded these programs or suggestions into your consciousness. You decided that you were going to own them as yours, and once it's yours, it can only go to work to serve you as your reality. You are consciousness. And form, or the things that you see in the world that you can touch and taste and hear and see and experience with your senses, they're all there because consciousness, you, commanded the energies to come together and become all the things that you experience and interact with in the world. You, my friend, are the master, and all things come into being to serve the master. But here's the thing. A master can't also be a victim. That's why no matter where or from whom the ideas that originally may have seeded your reality was adopted or adapted from, there is no one to blame for whatever woes or whatever joys are in your life today. Because ultimately, they were all created by your choosing. And as hard as it may be to accept that, there is no other way to turn your life around unless you take 100% responsibility and declare yourself creator and master. Really, it is so pointless to bemoan and belabor and perpetuate the blame game by saying that others are responsible for your happiness or your unhappiness. Choosing to blame your family, your parents, or your upbringing, your culture, your race, your social or financial status, your religion, your education, an abusive or overbearing partner, your children, the aliens, the 1%, or whatever. That's all choosing to remain a victim. And being a victim is choosing to give up your sovereignty and declaring yourself a slave. It's choosing to give up choice and to let others do your choosing for you, and oftentimes in spite of you. But whether you choose to create from the reference point of victim or master, it's still all your own creation. So you gotta own it. It's all still your responsibility. You made it all up and you made it all happen, not to you, as people might think. They think things happen to them. No, everything happens for you and because of you. You're the creator, you're the commander, and all your creations are there for you to serve you. You're a victim or you're a master. There is no other way. And either way, you're a creator. And if you want to disconnect from the matrix and start to experience what it's like to live according to your own truth and the freedom to be, do, and have a life of your own choosing, the first step is to abandon any sense of victimhood and declare your sovereignty now. Even if you don't know a single thing about being sovereign or how to even make your first move into the direction of sovereignty, that doesn't matter. What matters is that you made a choice. You made a decision. And by declaring your sovereignty, to proclaim with all your being, I am a sovereign being. I am a sovereign creator. That's all it takes to get the gears moving. In fact, you can consider it as already done. And the rest is now just up to you on how much you're willing to accept your sovereignty, to accept your freedom, and just allow it to come forth to serve you. And the degree to how quickly and how easily it all comes to you is directly related to the degree in which you're willing to trust yourself and step out of the way in order for your world to rearrange itself to serve your highest potential with minimal, if any, effort on your part. You see, again, it's all about your consciousness. The more you relax and allow and let things come to you, like a real master would expect, the easier and faster it comes to you. Whatever it is, it will rush in to love you and to support you and to uplift you and provide for you everything that you need in the now moment. And that's the thing. It happens in the now moment. Perhaps not a minute sooner as we humans would like to have it. We like to know that something's going to be there for us before we make our next move. We want to know that the money's there first, the time is there first, the opportunities, and the people that we need to meet are all there first before we take our next step. But I'm afraid that's not how it works in the realm of freedom, which is the realm of now. True freedom can't be had within the matrix of time and space. True freedom is beyond time and space. It's in a timeless state. And the term now isn't even quite accurate to define something that's beyond time, but that's the best approximation we have as a way to point to it within the limits of our language. So you gotta make the first move. And that's to first choose what you want, then walk straight into it without knowing what's ahead. And I understand that it may look like it's some cruel joke from the universe, some kind of test that you need to take the dive without knowing what's going to be there at the bottom. If there's even a bottom, or if you're going to just burn up on the way down. But in my experience, and in the experiences of countless others who've made the jump and discovered what happens next, we all have the same realization to report back. And it's that the moment we jump off, we instantly grow wings, or all of a sudden a magic flying carpet comes and swoops us up that very instant when we take the plunge. And instead of the free fall and imminent crash that one would expect from such a bold, brash, and risky move, you can say, we are rewarded instead with the exhilaration of weightlessness and a taste of freedom. And of course, there's the magic and often miraculous synchronicities that orchestrate themselves in perfect timing to assist you in realizing your choices. But like I said, it has a way of happening just at the right moment and not a second sooner, unfortunately. So, no, it is not a cruel joke. In fact, it's the only state that freedom operates in. Because every true experience, any new experience, anything spontaneous can only be had in the present moment, the now. And being free is abiding in the now without the shackles and burdens of the past and the worries and anxieties and even hope of the future. This preoccupation with past and future, not being here now, that's the very stuff that clogs the pipeline, the expressway to the swift delivery of your desires. And that's what I mean by getting out of your own way, which is the same as staying present in the now without thoughts and without judgments of the past and future, which only reinforces your memories of something that didn't work out in the past, and then projecting the same disappointing story onto the future. And then, of course, that leads to the recreation of the same old shitty circumstances over and over again. It's like that movie Groundhog Day. Have you seen it? Freedom is about being in the now. It's a choice to let go of doubts created from past memories and trusting that you can grant yourself at each moment whatever you want to experience now. And that opening in the now is the only time, it's the only opportunity for you to exercise true choice and to have it all delivered to you in an instant if you can stay that present with it and clear out all the debris of past and future judgments. And here's the challenge, though. The fact is, the current matrix we think we're in, it operates in a linear mode of causality within a time-space construct. It's a neatly organized Newtonian paradigm of 1 + 1 = 2. It's about a predictable, mechanistic world devoid of conscious choice, which then makes it a world totally devoid of freedom. Because without your conscious choice, there is no way to be a master of your world. This mechanistic world of the matrix that we live in, 1 + 1 = 2. We were taught from an early age that choice, if any, is limited and that we need to follow certain rules if we want to be accepted, if we want to be loved, if we want to be respected or to succeed or even just to survive in this world. Our survival here depends on how much we conform within the structures of these rules and regulations, the expectation of how well we cooperate as just another cog on the wheel of this machine. We were taught by our parents, our family, society, religion, our education systems, and the list goes on, but they've all trained and programmed us to follow some pre-prescribed paths in life, all already chosen for us by everything and everyone out there but us. Don't do this, don't do that. Do this instead, do that if you know what's good for you. You're a good boy for doing this. You're a bad girl for doing that. Here, take a standardized test so that we can tell you based on our standards if you're smart or if you're stupid. And then you live the rest of your life believing that you're smart or you're stupid based on a number on some test that somebody else made up. You go to preschool, you go to primary school, junior high, high school, college, get a job, get married, buy a house, have kids, move to the suburbs, have another kid, maybe another one, then work all your life to pay off the house and send your kids to college, retire at a certain age, then just die. That's the program, just like clockwork, just like machines. 1 + 1 = 2. That's the world of the matrix. If you deviate from this robotic, mechanized, predictable reality, then you call attention to yourself. You're singled out, you're judged, you're called weird, crazy, a gambler, or just different. And so many people are so afraid to be labeled different because that often is enough to qualify you to be ostracized from the rest of the tribe or the flock. So 1 + 1 = 2 in this world. But if you ever had a taste of freedom, you'll know that there's another way. It's the quantum way. And when you go quantum, 1 + 1 can equal anything you want. Let's face it, people are miserable. They want change, they pray for a change, yet they don't really want change. They might want things to be just a little bit easier, a little more sweet, a little more exciting than what they already have. They just want a little bump up from where they're at today. Maybe a promotion so that they feel a little more important, a little more money in their pockets, and maybe some extra vacation time. But real change, real life-altering, reality-shifting change, especially if it happens now, overnight, without any notice or preparation? Nah, I don't think so. Most people want to know that they've got someplace to put their foot down before they take a step. They make sure that they get a new job before they quit their old job. They've got to know that they have X amount of money in the bank and X amount of vacation days from their jobs before they plan a vacation. And of course, they're going to need someone else's approval for that. They have got to know that the other person won't reject them before they're willing to even say their first, "I love you." Obviously, that's not freedom. And as free as freedom is, just waiting for you to state your wish, your command, it does come with a caveat. It kind of comes with the price. And the price is that you need to let go of control. You need to be willing to give up everything you thought was real in your life, but isn't. And that means that big, seemingly disruptive changes might happen. And depending on how much you want this change, how much you want to be free, it often happens all at the same time. Your partner might walk out on you. Your job might disappear. Your body might break down. All on the same day. And I'm not saying that these things will happen to you, but how else can you be free if you don't let go of all the things that's kept you from being free? And how can you go from imprisonment to freedom without expecting anything to change? I do not doubt that most people truly want to be free. All the things that people say that they want, if you really drill it down to the essence of why they want these certain things, it always comes back to the fact that they want to be free. But I say this with great sadness, but they're not going to be free because they're not willing to give it all up. They're only willing to give up a little, so long as it doesn't shake up the status quo, so long as it's not going to hurt too much, as long as things are still within familiar ground. They just want a little more sweetness in their life. They just want a little upgrade to where they're currently at. And friend, I am sorry to say this. And if you want to be free, you're going to have to get real. And the reality is that freedom is an all or nothing proposition. Freedom is an all or nothing proposition. There is no such thing as being a little free or a lot free. You are free or you are not. And I said earlier that this willingness to let everything go was the price of freedom. But is that really a price? Do you really think that it's a loss? Is it really a sacrifice? I don't know about you, but definitely not for me. I have decided that I am going to let go of all the control and to release everything that needs to go that no longer serves me. I've made a decision that I don't care what it looks like from my limited human point of view, and no matter how difficult it may be to bear at the time this change happens, I have decided that I am just going to get out of the way. Because I trust that, unbeknownst to my human mind, that all things are happening for me to serve me because I have chosen it. And the seeming sense of temporary loss or sacrifice, that's no loss. That's no sacrifice. Because to me, the true loss and the true sacrifice was the reality that I've been living in up to now, with all the struggling, the efforting, the disappointments, the wrestling, trying and always doing and doing and doing just so that I can survive, just so that I can give myself just enough to feel like I'm alive, which isn't that different from saying that I was just barely living. And I am not okay with just enough anymore. I am not cool with expecting just a little more than what I have now and getting shortchanged every time. And another day to live this way is another day lived in loss and in sacrifice. It took getting totally fed up for me to one day finally throw up my hands in the air and drop to my knees and say to the universe, sobbing, enough is enough. No more. And then instantly the question of, well then, are you willing to trust so deeply that no matter what happens, you will allow it? Are you willing to give up everything if that's what it takes? And I remember the one very hard question that came up was that, even if that means that your beloved kitty cat has to leave. Now that one took a second longer, but I said yes. I'd have to say yes if that's what it takes. If it means that I'll have to separate from even those that I love so dearly, it'll break my heart, of course, but if I want true all-out freedom, because there's no such thing as freedom that is not all out, well, then that's how it will have to be. There is no compromise. There is zero compromise in freedom. And now for you. What do you choose? Would you also be willing to be this bold to say that you choose freedom no matter what? To take 100% responsibility for that choice? And of course, there is nothing wrong if you say no. You're just not ready now, and that's fine. But I will tell you that there will come a day, whether in this lifetime or 100 lifetimes from now, where each and every one of you will come to a crossroads where you will make the choice. So for those of you who want this now in this lifetime, stay with me here. Let's help each other. Let's get free together. And for those of you who haven't made the choice yet, I hope you'll also stay with me and learn what happens when this choice is made by those who go before you, like myself. Let me be the guinea pig for you. Let me come back and share with you the results of this experiment into freedom, so that when that day comes, when you choose your freedom, it'll make your journey that much easier. And even if you're not ready for a total reality shift just yet, because I understand it is really scary. So even if you're not ready yet, I have got a freedom exercise for you. If you choose it, of course. And just for fun, see how it goes when you allow and accept and let go of control and your insistence on specific outcomes when you live out your daily life. Try it on something easy first so that you'll see the benefit of working up to more challenging situations later, but give it a try and see what happens. Because I guarantee you that something unexpectedly amazing will start to open up for you each time. And before you know it, you'll have already dipped into a little taste of the true sweetness of freedom. And I look forward to hearing about your magical freedom stories very soon. That's it for today. Thanks for listening, and I will catch you next time. To visit the episode webpage or to leave a comment, go to disconnectmatrix.com/podcast/7. Again, that's disconnectmatrix.com/podcast/7. And while you're there, please subscribe to my email list so we can stay in touch. Also, if you're on iTunes and are enjoying this show, please consider giving it a favorable rating and review for the benefit of future listeners. To contact me directly, my email is alice@disconnectmatrix.com. I welcome all your questions, comments, and any feedback that you have. Thanks again for joining me. Until next time.